Hey guys, what's happening? This is Divyansh and a very warm welcome to all of you to the United Talk. Look, what I'm going to say next, there are only two exceptions to that statement. Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, because these two are the goats of the game, right? So apart from them, there are no exceptions to this statement. And I'm talking about players who are very good players, who are known as very good players, regarded as very good players, uh, like for example, Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, uh, Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial, and I just care about United, so I'm just gonna name United players. I'm not gonna name any other players from any other teams. But we don't have a Lionel Messi or a Cristiano Ronaldo to our team because those two are goats of the game. Apart from that, a level below them are these players. Now you can debate whether Martial and Rashford are in that category, but at least Bruno and Pogba are. So any good player, any very good player will give you his or her best 8 out of 10 times, 8 out of 10 games. In 8 games out of 10, these very good players will perform an average, and you'll give them an average rating of 8 out of 10. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? But in the remaining 2 games, these players, because they're human beings, because they are in the end human beings, and they are players who might have a bad day or a poor performance once every 10 games, once every 8 games, something like that. And that can happen. And that day you need someone else in your team to step up and perform. The reason I'm saying all this is because against Southampton, where United drew 2-2 at home, and by the way, I mean, deja vu, right? Again, we had an opportunity to go into top four. The door was left wide open by both Chelsea and Leicester. Both of them lost on the weekend, by huge margins as well, by three goals. So huge margins as well. We had an opportunity to get into top four, to get third, and we didn't take it. And what I was trying to say before was, in this game against Southampton, your Paul Pogba did not have a good game. He had a poor game. Bruno Fernandes had a poor game. I mean, you can argue that they both looked tired, but let's not argue about that because the games for everyone are the same, right? Every team has to play the same number of games in the same duration. So if Paul Pogba does not have a good game, he's allowed to not have a good game once in every 8 games or 6 games. Bruno Fernandes is allowed to have a poor game once every 6, 7 games because he's a human being. He's not Ronaldo, he's not Messi. When an 18-year-old Mason Greenwood, who's been scoring regularly in the past 3 games, does not score in the fourth game running, it's okay because first of all he's 18, and secondly it's difficult to score in 4 games straight. It is difficult. Not too many strikers in the world do that, especially at the age of 18. So out of your top 5 players, Martial, Rashford, Greenwood, Bruno and Pogba, the top attacking players in the team, if 2 of them have a poor game, Bruno and Pogba, and if Greenwood is out of the game, he's not involved in the game, and there's only 2 players, Martial and Rashford, who have a good game, can you replace these players during a match? Can you say, all right, Bruno, you're not having a good game, Pogba, you're not having a good game, Mason, you're not involved. Let me get you off the game, off the pitch. Let me get someone else who can have an impact. Do you have a Jadon Sancho to come on and play instead of Greenwood on the right hand side? Do you have a Jack Grealish who can come on and play instead of either Pogba or Bruno? Do you have that player? No, you don't. And the reason I'm starting with this point today is because so many people, after the impressive performances of Greenwood, have come out and said that, oh, if Sancho comes to the team, the development of Greenwood is gonna get hampered. And that's not the case, and this game proved that. This game proved that your first 11, no matter how good it is not enough to win you titles. It's not enough to win you each and every game. Look, no team in the world can win each and every game, and Liverpool are a very good example of that. But you need to win as many as possible, and you cannot do that with just a very good starting 11. You need to have depth in your squad, quality depth in your squad, which you do not have, because when Bruno came off, or before Bruno, when Pogba came off, I mean, I was kind of okay with it because I knew Pogba was not having a good game. But the problem is, if Pogba is not having a good game, if Pogba is injured, who replaces him? Fred is not a bad player. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against Fred, but Fred is not of the same quality, same level as Paul Pogba. Fred cannot do what Pogba does or can do. You know, in the past 4-5 games, look at what Pogba has done. Can Fred do that? No, and it's not against him. It's just quality. It's a different level. Same with Bruno. When Bruno came off, who came on to replace him? McTominay, because that time we were trying to protect the game and hold on to the lead. And I'm not saying we should have scored 3-4, which we should have, by the way. We should have scored more goals. Martial could have had a hat-trick in that game. In the first half, if you look at the missed one-on-one opportunity. In the second half, with that amazing run and they just missed the shot. Sorry, but do you think I'm going to blame Martial for that? No, because he did score a very good goal. He did give a world-class assist. Look, that assist tells you that Anthony Martial is a proper number 9. It silences his critics, because that assist, that ball by Pogba is not an easy ball to control. He not only controls it, resists the defender, and you know what, if he's not able to roll that ball to Rashford, he probably gets a penalty as well. But it's a world-class assist by Martial, a very good finish by Rashford. That's the problem. Rashford could have scored in the second half, should have scored in the second half when that block was made by, I think it was Bertrand. And I mean, we could have scored 5 goals, but this was not that kind of a day. This was a day where when we needed to get stuck in, and we were playing bad, we were not playing great. And yet we needed to win that game. And then you win such games and you get the confidence, alright, we've not been playing good, but we've still gotten 3 points, and that's what gives you confidence. That's what good teams do. They keep on winning even if they don't have the best of games. And I said in the previous video as well, you're not going to score 3 goals or 4 goals or 5 goals every game. You're not going to do that. So defensively you need to be sound. Now look, it's a pattern. Against Bournemouth, in the first 20 minutes we didn't start well and we got punished. But then we came back into the game. Great. Against Aston Villa, we didn't start well in the first 20 minutes, but they were not able to punish us. They did hit the post, right? Remember, they did hit the post, but we were lucky. And then, against Southampton, for the first 18 or so minutes, we did not start well. Pogba lost the ball twice, one of them resulted in a goal, another one could have also resulted in a goal. Matic in the first 10 minutes lost the ball twice. Wan-Bissaka had a poor game. He's had a very, very, very bad game, by his standards at least. And then your Bruno is not performing up front in that particular game. So it leaves you with, I mean, who's the attacking threat? I think Luke Shaw had a very good game. Martial, Rashford had very good game. But apart from that, who else can you point out and say, oh yeah, they had a good game? I mean, look, Maguire and Lindelof had a decent game, both of them. The problem is, this also points a question to their ability on the ball, because now teams know that United like to play from the back. They like to build from the back. And when they come out and press when the ball is with the goalkeeper or when the ball is with the defenders, what are you supposed to do then? I mean, we don't seem to be able to find our way out. More often than not, we just loft the ball up in the air into the midfield, and we don't win those balls very often. So it's something that United need to work on. I'm not making this video to actually rant about United, because no, they're still unbeaten. What, 18 games is it now? They're still unbeaten. Could have and should have won this game, but you do get these games, and that's the important. Instead of winning 3-1, instead of going and winning 3-1, I would have preferred if United actually parked the bus in the last 10 minutes, which they tried to do, in all honesty, and win that game 2-1, because we all knew, I think even United knew they were not playing well. Southampton, to give them all the credit that they deserve, they did play well, and actually they played better football than us. They defended well. Apart from the 2 goals, they did defend well, and they did attack well as well, and they kept pressing us throughout the game. Till the 98th minute, they kept pressing us. Some of you may come out and say that we were unlucky because we lost Shaw through an injury, we lost Brandon Williams through an injury, and what's going to happen if both of them are injured for the next game against Palace, which is again in 2 days? What's going to happen then? I mean, Ethan Laird could start, right? But I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to give Ethan Laird a chance, because I think it's going to be Diego Dalot, and that's what worries me. If both Luke Shaw and Brandon Williams are injured, it's going to be Diego Dalot. It's not going to be the same. Diego Dalot is not the same quality, doesn't offer as much as these two do, and for him to play as a left back, look, he's played that before, but for him to play left back instead of Shaw, who's been having a very good time of late, it's 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 one arrow less. It's one arrow less in your crossbow. That's the problem. The thing is, you're gonna have such games, but you're gonna be strong. You need to be strong mentally to avoid a defeat or even a draw in those games. You need to just go up front and win it. You play badly, but you win the game, and that's what good teams do. But again and again, I think the importance, what this game showed to me, and I can talk about tactics and analysis and this, that for the entire half an hour, 1 hour, whatever it is. But for me, what this game showed is an absolute need to go out and buy Jack Grealish, to go out and buy Jadon Sancho, who should be our number one priority, and also emphasized on the fact that we are one centre back short. We are a centre back short. I mean, look, centre back is an area, and you know what? We need to actually thank David De Gea for this game because of his world class save in the 85th minute or something like that. Because if not for him, we could have conceded then, and then if we concede again, we could have lost this game as well because we were playing with 10 men in the last 3 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that. I mean, it's not a very long time. We should be able to defend that lead in for 3 minutes or 4 minutes, but or whatever it was. But yeah, I mean, look, it's not the end of the world. I still think that we are gonna get fourth or third. We could get third actually, because if you look at Leicester's next fixtures, Leicester have to play Sheffield United, they have to play Tottenham, then they have to play United. They're not gonna get 9 points out of those 3 games. I will be surprised if they get 6 points out of those 3 games. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I predict Leicester getting 4 points out of those 9 points, 3 games. Chelsea have Norwich next, which is easy for them, so they're gonna get 3 over there. Then they have Liverpool away and Wolves at home. Again, I will be really surprised if they get 6 points out of those 6 points, because I think they're gonna drop points over there. We have Crystal Palace next and then West Ham at home. Not easy games by any chance, and that's what Premier League gives you, right? Premier League, you will not have one easy game. It looks easy at the end of the game because when you're winning 3-0, yeah, it was easy, but it's never easy. So Crystal Palace and West Ham will not be easy games, and then we have Leicester, of course, that final game of the season. But on paper, you would prefer playing West Ham and Crystal Palace instead of playing Tottenham, instead of playing Sheffield. I mean, we played Sheffield and we won against them, that's not the point, but you would prefer playing West Ham and Crystal Palace instead of playing Liverpool and Wolves and Tottenham, right? You would prefer, that's the preferable draw. So I do think we're going to go and win. I do think that we are going to get top 4, but this game showed the absolute need of having a good quality squad for me. Let's also talk about the red card that could have been given to Romeo on the challenge on Greenwood, because I thought that was a red card. But you know what? You can talk about such things because VAR is an idiotic thing anyway, because there's a referee sitting in a bus somewhere, in a truck, whatever that van is called. He's sitting in there looking at the matches. He has an advantage over the on-field referee to see the things that the referee on-field cannot see, and yet he never goes back and tells the referee to actually go and look at the screen places placed on the field. I was in favor of VAR. I am still in favor of VAR because I think VAR helps the game to be fair, but the problem is it's not solving its purpose. VAR is good when it makes the right decisions. Right now, VAR is not making the right decisions. You can argue that the penalty awarded to Bruno Fernandes in the last game against Aston Villa was not a penalty, and I will agree with you. You can also argue that this was a red card challenge by Romeo, and you won't be wrong. It was a red card challenge by Romeo. He could have broken his ankle, Greenwood's ankle. This is the problem with VAR, and it's not just about United. Look, a lot of decisions with VAR have gone in United's favour, and a lot of them have gone against us as well. But it's with every team, every match. I remember the Sissoko handball, which was not a handball, it was like a shoulder, but it was given, and it was a penalty. I don't know what game it was, but I do remember that it was not. So I'm not just talking about United, I'm talking about VAR in general, but that's not in your hands. What is in your hands is to go out, perform week in, week out, match in, match out. United, to be fair, have been doing that. There was bound to be a slip up. I'm glad this is the slip up right now, because we don't lose the game, we still get a point. We are on level with Leicester. So if Leicester wins all three games, which they're not going to do, and we win the next three games, essentially, I mean, Leicester cannot win all three games, because if we win the next three games, we defeat Leicester and we are in the Champions League. So it's still in our hands. The destiny is still in our hands. We still have better games to play on paper versus the other two teams. But look, we just need to make sure that players do turn up, because I thought they were a little complacent in the game. I thought they were not able to click. And to be honest, I mean, when Pogba and Bruno don't have a good game, no matter how good Martial and Rashford are playing, your ball does not travel from defense to attack, because Pogba and Bruno do that. They get the ball from defense to offense, and I've said this before as well. So when that doesn't happen, no matter how much Martial tries or no matter how much Rashford tries, they can only do so much. There's a reason why you have midfielders in the game. And when your midfield doesn't perform, 66% of your midfield doesn't perform, this is what happens. And that's why you need depth in squad. I cannot reiterate it more. But look, there are positives from the game. I am not ranting about it, because there are positives from the game. Look at the performances of Martial, of Rashford. I think Rashford looked his best self, what we saw him before the injury. So I think that's a good sign. I think we are going to go and defeat Crystal Palace, because now we should be able to do that because of the ego, and I think now we will also defeat Chelsea because we won the FA Cup. We should be getting top four. Like I said, for me, my man of the match was Anthony Martial, because of his performances, because of his goal, because of his assist. Amazing, brilliant performance. But let me know, what do you think of the game, guys? What do you think about United's chances of getting into top four? If you do like the video, please hit that like button, and it will be awesome if you actually end up subscribing to the video as well. The next game is in 2 days, so I'll see you soon. Take care.